So what I have here is a couple of thoughts on safety today. One of them is to do with the leads that we have on our meter here. Very common leads. You see these all over the place, and every meter comes with pretty much some sort of lead that's probably a lot like these guys. So let's say we have these, the meter's hooked up to, I don't know, let's say a 12 volt supply that might have 30 amps of capacity. And we're going to take and change it over to, say, the amp rating, and we're going to do something with amps. But this is still hooked up, and we've been thinking about other things. That we're not concentrating on our situation here. So now we've got the 12 volts on the end of here with 30 amps behind it. If I accidentally drop this on a chassis or something like that, there's going to be a couple of sparks at least. Could cause more problems, could burn up your leads, hard to say. Or if you've got it hooked up to, say, the ends here are hooked up to mains voltage, 120, 240, whatever it might happen to be. This is now live, so not the greatest thing to get zapped with. So what we have is we have these kind of leads, and these little guys have a sheath on them that's spring-loaded. So when you pull it out of the meter, it covers that. If you should drop it or you should touch it, you know, there's probably nothing as much is going to happen. And these happen to be straight ones, as you can see. They do come in the angle like the other leads there. So they fit in there. That little sheath goes back as you shove it in. And there you go. You've got yourself some protection here. Now, not every set of leads that you own necessarily has to be these guys, but probably the ones you use all the time. Or if you're out doing anything with higher voltages, this is probably not a bad idea. The second thing we have here is more of a protection for your devices, especially those static sensitive devices. This is the static wrist strap. We can see here, if we measure it, it shows about 1 million ohms, which it should be 1 megohm. Very common. And then we're going to see if this thing actually works on me. And we're going to put it on like so. That bit of metal that's in there is going to touch on my wrist. This end is just sitting here. If I touch it with my other fingers, we see that we have continuity. We have about 1 million ohms in this and about 600,000, 500, whatever in me. So this tells me that it's working. It also tells me that this is not shorted. So in other words, I've not ground myself through this by putting this to ground, and this has somehow gotten a closed circuit in it. That could not be, might not be healthy. If I go and touch the wrong thing, it would be going through me instead. So hope this helps, and these are a great idea.